hey, so if you think this EP that took 1 month is good, imagine how good a 2-year album's gonna be.
I love the pointing because I know that Josh is gonna edit this.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun to cut. Hey, we're the Low Blow, and this is a track-by-track look at each song from our new EP, Hurting Healing.
I was going through kind of a rough time when I wrote the song, and it was just sort of a journal, a dialogue of sorts of the process of realizing that I was getting better every single day. And so I kind of wanted to take an approach that way, write something a little bit more intimate than I was used to, and something a little bit more low fidelity. As you can see, it's the only track on the album that sounds like that, I guess. A little bit more personal, and yeah, that's kind of what we were going for, I think, with that one. The recording process of it was really simple. I was just me, really, with 2 iPhones on both ends of the piano, and then just panned them left and right. That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. My old family's piano that we've had since I was a kid.
And some rain sounds.
And some rain, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's plenty of rain sounds.
Plenty of rain to go around.
Yeah, I think it makes a really nice intro track because I think it really sets up a vibe of trying to find an identity that is authentically yourself instead of anything anybody else wants you to be.
True.
I don't wanna eat anything anymore. I don't wanna feel everything anymore. I don't wanna be.
Wear and Tear is a song that I wrote a long time ago, actually started writing a long time ago, finished it up fairly recently. That I started writing in the midst of some really hard trauma that I was going through in my life, where I didn't really feel like I was contributing anything to anybody. I was living a lie at the time, I felt like. Maybe it wasn't entirely that, but it definitely felt like I was not being my true authentic self when I first started writing it, and I felt like there was a lot of things holding me back. And I just felt like I was presenting this version of myself that wasn't authentic, and so the song is kind of about acknowledging the void in a way that comes from suppression and repression.
Yeah, I really like this song, especially as a single, because I think it's one of the most driving kind of rock songs that we've released so far.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be really fun to play in a live setting, just because it has so much energy at its peaks, and I think so much emotional depth kind of in its valleys, which makes it a really dynamic song. But yeah, it's just got a ton of energy, so it was really fun to write for, because it was kind of unlike anything we have done up until this point.
That's true.
I think I lost you sooner than I wanted to. And I know you can't say the same.
So this song is the song that you've probably listened to before. This is the song, the best song we've ever, just the coolest song. Sooner is a song that I wrote in the midst of one of the hardest periods of time in my life, about losing somebody that I was very close with. And it blew up on TikTok, which I never thought that would be a sentence that like I would be saying about our band. But a song, one of our songs blew up on TikTok, and I wasn't going to do anything with the song really, and then people were like, oh no, you need to put it on Spotify. And I was like, oh, I think we need to put it on Spotify. And you guys were like, yeah.
We need to put it on Spotify.
Yeah, so I showed up here late one night, and we just recorded
things.
We recorded all the stuff that's on Sooner.
Yeah.
And then I went home and I mixed it literally from that, like, as soon as I got home at like 1 a.m. to like midday the next day. I was literally mixing that entire time. Didn't sleep at all. And we put it out like a few days later, and then it's our most streamed song right now.
I feel like you could say this for pretty much all the songs on this EP, but like what you hear on the EP, we pretty much just kind of came up with on the spot as far as like instrumentation and like all the guitar and bass parts and drum parts. Like
that's the story of most of the parts.
Yeah.
On this EP.
Yeah.
That's true.
Especially all the parts with various layers. It's like, oh, that sounded cool. What about this other thing? Let's put both of them in there. Yeah,
that's
cool.
true.
Cool.
We did kind of do it that way.
Sounds good. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Maybe heaven looks like a dirty hotel. Angels or spiders under.
My Prayers Fell on Deaf Ears is a song about religious trauma, and it wasn't really my family that made me, that sort of like made me feel a certain way. It's really more of the apparatuses within these churches that pressured me into becoming someone who I wasn't, and being afraid of myself for a long time. And the song in general is about the idealistic rich God that a lot of these churches have designed. The idea of what God is, which is this, heaven looks golden and it's plated with diamonds, and there's it's like capitalist heaven. It's like Jesus was a rich man, almost like feeling but like that's why the lyrics are so iconoclastic. Like the idea of like heaven looks like a dirty hotel room and angels are spiders under the bed sheets is me saying, so fucking what, heaven is whatever it is. And I wanted it sonically, which you guys really helped with the arrangement, I wanted it to really sound almost hymnal, especially in the ending parts. Like I wanted it to have this feeling of like the great stairway opening up, almost like almost like a rapturous feeling.
Yeah, I think it has a really great choir effect towards the end of the song without there actually being a choir.
Right.
Because there's so many vocal layers.
Yeah.
There's so many guitar layers. There's this soaring lead. Towards the beginning of the song, there's all these different string parts.
That's true.
And all of the entire song feels very rich and very full. And so I guess that's what I mean by it feels choir-like.
Well, when we got the tracks off of Pat, the song was, for the most part, kind of fully realized. The beginning part was pretty bare bones, pretty simple, laid back, which is kind of the point. We definitely wanted to keep that. But on the day that we had planned to have Pat come by later, Josh came in and was just going, and was just like, I want that to be a string part. And we were like, okay, cool.
I demand it.
Well, it was just like, cool,
Josh
let's put it in. So we put that in, and then it was me, Taylor, and Josh for a while, and kind of fleshed out the rest of that in kind of an orchestral sense, while still trying to keep the mood of that particular part of the song. And the later half did get big like it is in this one, but it was a bit different, of course. And there are a lot of guitar parts there already, so I asked Pat, so what do you want me to play? And Pat said, oh, just replace all the guitar parts there. I said, oh, shit, okay, yeah, cool. But do it the way you do it. Oh, yeah, I got it.
Make them crunchy.
Yeah, so a lot of those parts are based off of kind of what was there before, just quite literally done in the way that I would do it.
This song is a song about, being replaced. It's a sequel kind of to Sooner, because it has to do with, a similar situation similar to that, and it's about that feeling of I don't know, whether it's friendships or relationships or even family. It's that sometimes you feel as though you're being cut out of someone's life, and that's what the song is quite literally about. And I wanted it to feel really intimate and really hopeless. It almost feels like it's hanging on to hope, which is what the song is about. It's like hanging on to false sense of hope. And you guys like really breathe new life into the song, because the original version was just acoustic, it was just that little synth that Taylor like did this really cool filter with your drums, which we were kind of unsure about what to do with it at first, because like I had not even thought about drums for it, and then like you guys sent me the files and everything with we got your bass part recorded, and that was kind of like the one thing I was like, all right, I have a clear idea of what's gonna happen with this. Everything else was just kind of like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, we're like, we don't really want them to sound natural or real.
Right. Yeah.
So we just kind of, I don't know, they sound very like compressed and distorted and weird. And I mean, I kind of catered the drum part to like kind of sounding like that, because I mean what I play is pretty repetitive and could even be a drum loop. And I will say that drum part, especially at the end, is one of the hardest drum parts I've ever had to record. Like, that took me so many takes.
Personally, this is my favorite song on the EP, just because it's so experimental, I guess, for us. It's us, but it through a very different lens, I feel like. This is obviously very electronic and has a lot of weird ideas thrown into it, and I think it really pays off.
I was just about to say, it feels like it works.
Yeah, and how strange it is.
I grew up hating how I looked. My disguise from hell.
Beautiful is one of those songs that I never thought that I would write, or that I thought I would much less show to other people. Because it's a very personal song about my own struggle with my identity, and it's very atomized. It's a song about my experience with it, and just like the truth in how I grew up, and how, you know, my gender dysphoria has always made me feel sort of outside of myself, unrelated to myself. And this song was kind of like I wanted to reframe all that. I wanted to take a song and like really talk about healing for once, and write a song about finding goodness in myself, even if I didn't really think at times it was there. And it's I don't know, I think it's important for a lot of people, a lot of trans and non-binary people. I wanted to make a song about radical self-acceptance and self-acknowledgement, and Beautiful was that song. From a production standpoint, it was like, I think one of the most no-brainer, like
the easiest song to mix.
Yeah.
And it's also probably my favorite mix.
Yeah,
on the
that's
EP.
fair.
Because just like, I mean, the way it's written and the way everything's laid out, it's just like kind of caters to a more organic feel.
I think we were listening to it like one of the last nights we were like mixing everything, and we just like were like, should we put a synth on this? Should we put any synths on this? And we almost all of us immediately were like, no, it doesn't need it. Which I agree with. I think it's one of those songs that it speaks for itself, and it's a perfect wrap up of everything that kind of the EP is about, I think.
And I love that this is a subject matter that you chose to write about, and all of us kind of chose to tackle as a band, because it's something that, you know, doesn't get talked about enough, especially in music within our genre. And I love that we were able to do that. And even in addition to gender dysphoria and trans issues, I think even more broadly it's about body acceptance.
That's so true.
And
that's very true.
Self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance, you know, in any way, within personality aspects within yourself that you're not happy with, to parts of your body that you're not happy with, or, you know, habits that you're not happy with.
It's a perfect catharsis.
Mm.
That's the thing. And it's talking about new ground for us as a band as well. It is pretty positive. You know, I mean,
That's true.
I think
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Weirdly
well,
positive,
no,
yeah.
You know, like any type of positivity in the past, I feel like at least has a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek type of glint to it.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it is just pure catharsis. It is the realization of all these things, and it is self-actualization. And it's the proudest I've been of anything that we've done.
Same.
Folks, thank you so much for watching this and for supporting us, and we hope that you enjoy listening to Hurting Healing, which is out now everywhere, as much as we enjoyed making it. Our hearts go out to anyone who relates to it, anyone that appreciates it. It's all for you, and we are eternally grateful for your support.
See an angel.